Google announced back in July that they were going to expand their Google Career Certificate offerings to now include certification programs for project managers, data analysts, and UX designers. The proposition they're making to you is that going through their 6-month certification program will serve to be a replacement for a traditional degree and help you land a job. In this video, I'll discuss exactly what Google is offering and whether it is actually a suitable replacement for a 4-year degree. So stay tuned. Hey folks, Richard Wallace here, helping you with career development and personal finance. If at the end of this video, or really at any point in this video, you decide you like what you see and you want to see more content like this, make sure to subscribe down below and hit the notification bell so you get notified of when I post new content. And while you're down there, make sure to hit the like button. It helps out my channel quite a bit. With that said, let's get to it. If you've been around my channel for any period of time, you'll know that I'm a big fan of education, specifically the online variety because of its flexibility and typically cost effectiveness. So I was pleased to learn that Google is expanding their offering of their Google Career Certificates beyond just what they currently have, which is IT support specialist. They're now going to be including programs for project managers, data analysts, and user experience designers. This is all done online through the Coursera platform and totally self-paced, although it is expected that participants will take about 6 months to complete a program. At a price point of $49 a month, you're looking at around $300 for a certificate, or less if you complete the program in fewer months. Now, I don't have to tell you this, but it is a fraction of the cost of any university degree. So that of course begs the question, is this valued by employers as much as a degree? Well, at minimum, Google themselves state that they view anyone that goes through these certification programs the same as someone with a 4-year degree. So if your goal is to get a job at Google in one of these roles, these certifications will come in handy. But by the same token, because of the low cost of these certificates and the relatively little time it takes to complete, the barrier to obtain one of these is fairly low. Of course, you have to put in the work, and I couldn't tell you how rigorous these certification programs are, but nonetheless, the barriers are low. So ultimately, you're going to be competing with a lot of people with these certifications for one of these roles at Google. So ultimately, your chances may actually be not so great. Now, apart from pursuing a role at Google, if the IT support specialist certification is any kind of proxy, they state that 80% of learners report a career impact within 6 months, whether that be finding a new job, getting a raise, or starting a new business. There's not a ton of detail on that statistic, but for $300, we'll certainly take it. Now, as for these new Google Career Certificates, what will other employers think of it? As a replacement for a 4-year degree, it would depend on what you would have gotten your degree in, as some degrees have a better return on investment than others. But here's what I'd say with a good degree of confidence. Man, I love making puns. Good degree puns. If you want to see more puns, hit the like button down below. But back to the message, which is these certifications will serve to be great complements to a related valuable degree, but it will not replace a degree, at least not yet. With degrees from reputable universities, you typically have commonly established criteria for what actually makes a university reputable in the first place, which includes strength of faculty, learning outcomes, and career outcomes. With Google certificates and other certifications of this kind, you don't exactly have that. I'll make a distinction though, because their IT support specialist certification, which is what they currently offer, is an exception, because I believe that that's sufficient to land a role in IT support because it's a very specific skill set. So I don't necessarily see a 4-year degree being a requirement. But for topics that are more broad, like project manager, data analyst, and UX designer, the only way this could replace a 4-year degree is if at the end of this certification program, you build a portfolio of work you can actually show to prospective employers. Now, whether the program has you create something or you create something on your own, bottom line is employers need to be able to see what you're able to do. And having the certificate alone without the established credibility of what a degree brings, quite frankly, isn't going to be enough, even if it does come from Google. So for data analyst and UX designer, those I see strong potential for there to be some kind of projects in which you do build a portfolio. I don't see quite the same with project management. So I would say between the three of them, project management is likely, I should say, least likely to help you land a job. A degree is going to help you get your foot in the door, which is a very important step, of course, whereas a certificate will still help you do that, just won't be as good of a chance. Certainly better than not having anything whatsoever. But if you combine a certificate with a degree, it's certainly going to help you stand out amongst other candidates, especially if you have some kind of portfolio, as I mentioned before, of work you can show the prospective employer. Net of it is, I think these certificate programs are fantastic, and for the price point, it's almost nothing. It's a very low investment for what you could potentially get out of it in terms of knowledge and potential career opportunities. So again, very low barrier, very low risk is the way I see it. But folks, let me know in the comments below what you think of these new Google Career Certificates and whether it's something you might decide to pursue in the future. With that said, thank you for watching, and I'll see you around.